It says in 2 Kings chapter 9, verse 1. 2 Kings 9:1. And Elisha the prophet called one of the children of the prophets and said unto him, Gird up thy loins, and take this box of oil in thy hand, and go to Ramoth Gilead. And when thou comest thither, look out there Jehu the son of Jehoshaphat, then the son of Nimshi, and go in and make him arise up from among his brethren, and carry him to the inner chamber. Then take the box of oil and pour it on his head, and say, Thus saith the Lord, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then open the door and flee and tarry not. Now this was something, of course, that was done to Jehu. This was something that was actually done to Jehu. That he was anointed. And he was anointed, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I have anointed thee king over Israel. This is a time when he was not even king. So we have basically this crazy prophet, in a sense. He comes in and he anoints Jehu. And when Jehu's servants hear about it, they wanted to know who this man was, and they thought he was a little crazy. Sometimes people think, prophets and people of God are a little crazy, unfortunately. But Jehu, I think, keeps some of this stuff in his head. Now, as we're going to review some of these verses that Brother Mike had read in 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 15, 2 Kings 10, 15. And when he was departed thence, he lighted on Jonadab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him. And he saluted him, and said to him, Is that thy heart right, as my heart is with thy heart? And Jonadab answered, It is. If it be, give me thy hand. And he gave him his hand, and he took him up to the chariot. And he said, Come with me, and see my zeal for the Lord. So they made him ride in his chariot. Now what we see Jehu saying, he says to Jonadab, he says, Come up and see my zeal for the Lord. Now they come and say, Hey, come to church and sit in the seat, and we're going to give you a sermon in a monotone voice, and we're not going to get excited about God's word, and it's just got to go to church. No, he says he'll come up and see my zeal for the Lord. He wanted to show Jonadab, hey, I'm going to show you something that you need to do. I'm going to show you how you need to be. And there's nothing, there's many powerful things in this world, but your zeal has great power. Zeal shows faith, and you see that Jehu wanted to show Jonadab something. So Jehu wanted to show something to Jonadab. 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 17, continuing on. And when he came to Samaria, this is Jehu, he slew all that remained unto Ahab in Samaria until he had destroyed him, according to the saying of the Lord, which he spake to Elisha. And Jehu gathered all the people together and said unto them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu shall serve him much. Now, interesting enough, though, as we get back to this next week, just to kind of give you some context here, God had prophesied that Ahab's house would be cut off. God had prophesied that. And God used Jehu to execute that judgment upon Ahab's house. And in a sense, when we see that zeal that Jehu has, that zeal, I believe, in a sense, comes from God because he's fulfilling it. He's fulfilling that prophecy. He's fulfilling God's will. Jehu knows enough from this that he needs to do this, that he needs to cut off the house of Ahab. Now, of course, he doesn't just finish there. Jehu doesn't finish there. He cuts off, the house of Ahab. He executes judgment upon her, upon Jezebel, upon even Ahaziah, the king of Judah. Now, as we continue on, though, Jehu's not done yet after he executes that judgment. And Jehu gathers all the prophets together. Verse 17, just to kind of backtrack, he says, verse 18, 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 18. And Jehu gathered all the people together and said unto them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu shall serve him much. Now therefore call unto me all the prophets of Baal and his servants and all his priests, let none be wanting, for I have a great sacrifice to do to Baal. Whosoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Jehu did it subtly to the intent that he might destroy the worshippers of Baal. Now, of course, some people are probably wondering why Jehu's gathering all these prophets of Baal together. And you might say, well, he must be a worshiper of Baal. But it says that he only did it subtly, he was up to something. 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 20, and Jehu said, Proclaim a solemn assembly in Baal. And they proclaimed it. And Jehu sent through all Israel, and all the worshippers of Baal came, so that there was not a man that came on. And they came into the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was full from one end to the other. And he said unto him that was over the vestry, bring forth the vestments to the worshippers of Baal. And he brought them forth vestments. And Jehu went, and Jonadab, the son of Rechab, into the house of Baal, and said unto the worshippers of Baal, search and look that there be not here with you any of the servants of the Lord, but the worshippers of Baal only. Now, first, we see here Jonadab, he's following Jehu into this project where he's got all these worshippers of Baal in one place. And he wanted to go, he's up to something here. He's up to something. This is a great story. How many people are familiar with the story about it? This is a great story. And it says here, they want to make sure that there was none of the servants of the Lord would be there. Only people who worship Baal. And when he went in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings, Jehu appointed 80 men without and said, if any of the men whom I have brought into your hands escape, he that letteth them go, his life shall be for his life. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, then Jehu said to the guard of the captains, go in and slay them, let none come forth. And they smote them with the edge of the sword, and the guard of the captains cast them out, and went to the city of the house of Baal, and they brought forth the images out of the house of Baal, and burned them, and they break down the image of Baal, and break down the house of Baal, made the drought house unto this day. Thus Jehu destroyed Baal out of Israel. Now turn your Bibles to Deuteronomy chapter 13. Deuteronomy chapter 13. Deuteronomy chapter 13. Now, as you turn there, I think that Jehu was a man who was showing great zeal for God. He was showing great zeal in doing God's will and judging the house of Ahab. And then he wants to take things even a further step. And this, as we can take a look, you might think, oh, that's a pretty wicked thing. He gathered all the people of Baal into one house. And he made sure that none of the servants of the Lord was there, and said, basically close the door and kill everyone. Now that seems kind of extreme, doesn't it? I mean, that seems pretty extreme. Imagine we said that today, take all the people today, right? That the worshippers of Baal, worshippers of false gods, and enslaved them. That's pretty, let's face it, we're not in that day and age. This day and age here, this was in Israel. This was in the land of Israel. And God had commandments to the Israelites. Now, so you might think, well, was he right to do this, or was he wrong to do this? Was he wrong to kill all those people who worship Baal? You might ask yourself that question. Well, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 13 to 15. Deuteronomy 13 to 15. And it says in Deuteronomy 13, certain men, the children of Belial are gone out from, first we're going to take a look at verse 12. If thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which the Lord thy God hath given thee to dwell there, certain men, the children of Belial are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which ye have not known. Then thou shalt inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be truth and the thing certain that such abomination is brought among you, thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof, with the edge of the sword. This is something God didn't want that. God didn't want people worshiping other gods. He even said that there was the death penalty on that. So when Jehu decided to execute judgment on the house of Baal, he was fulfilling God's will. I believe that he was led by the Spirit to do this. And he had great zeal. I get excited reading this story every time I read it, because we see Jehu as a man who's completely on fire for God. Even so that he says to John that we come and see my zeal for the Lord. I wish that we had more of that going on. Come and see my zeal for the Lord. We need people on fire for God. And I think that what the devil really wants is the devil wants us lukewarm. The devil wants us lukewarm. But we see that here. We see that Jehu, he was on fire. But the story kind of ends in a bad way. The story really ends in a bad way, in a sense. 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 9. After Jehu does all this, it says, howbeit from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, Jacob departed not from after them, to wit, the golden calves that were in Bethel and that were in Dan. That was it for Jacob. That was it for Jacob. After he did those great exploits, after he did those great things, it says that afterwards, that he departed not from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. That was it. I mean, we don't hear Jacob do anything great again. Here we see a man, he was filled with the Spirit. He was filled with the Spirit of God. He was filled with the power of God and did great things. But that was it. He never did anything great again for God. Never did anything great again for God. And you might wonder what exactly happened with Jacob. Like how can he be so on fire for God and then boom? That was it. I mean, not only was he on fire for God, but then he was like Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. He was a bad example. He was not following God. He was doing the things of the world. Even had golden calves, other gods. Now, I think that obviously we're in a spiritual battle here. It's a spiritual battle that we're in, and of course, the Baptist churches don't do a really good job of really exemplifying that. We kind of just are kind of talking heads when it comes to that. We don't think about that spiritual realm enough. But we're in a spiritual battle, and I think that the devil has many great secrets. He has many great secrets for those people who aren't saved. Great secret is, hey, you know there's a God. You know there's a God. You know you need to be saved. You know you need to have your sins forgiven. You know you need to be born again. Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ. But just wait a little longer. Just wait another day or week or season. And just kind of do what you want. Don't think about this stuff. It's a lot easier just to live your life without Jesus. You can do whatever you want and you don't have to worry about it. Just kind of put that aside. It's great trick by the devil. I've heard many people say that. Oh man, young people, I don't want to become a Christian. Not ready yet. Just not ready. But I think the devil has another real good trick. Another real good trick is that when you get saved and maybe you get on fire for God, I think maybe the devil just allows you, maybe he just steps out of the way a little bit sometimes and lets you have some great victories. And I think that can happen. I think Jacob had great victories. He had God's Spirit. He was doing great things for him. And then all of a sudden, he stops. He stops. And I think the devil will say, hey, look. The devil will say, hey, maybe the devil will be like, hey, go ahead. Serve God. Maybe I'll even step out of the way a little bit and let you have some good victories. And then you might be on fire, but then you'll be like, you know what? Why don't you just slow down a little bit? Just slow down a little bit. Come on, slow down a little bit. Now if we take a look at Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. And it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath God said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. So we see that the devil attacking God's word, just subtly. Yea, hath God said, thou shalt not eat every tree of the garden. The devil's trying to twist things, trying to take just try to twist the word of God just a little bit. Try to get her to eat that fruit. And we take a look at, obviously we use it in the King James Bible and the book of Mark. The book of Mark. 678 verses in the book of Mark. But what we see in a lot of other Bibles, have you ever heard of any other Bibles besides King James? Like any other Bible? There's a lot of different Bibles. And if you read in another Bible, the NIV, related to Mark chapter 16, verse 9 to 20, what it will say is it'll have the verses, but then you see like some footnote. The earliest manuscripts and some other ancient witnesses do not have these verses. So it ends, basically, the chapter ends abruptly. It ends in, I believe it's Mary Magdalene, who wants to see Jesus. And he's not there. And someone says that he's not here. He's risen. And they were astonished and they were afraid. End of the chapter. End of the chapter. Now, we're missing some critical things here. The actual scene of the resurrection of Jesus, not just someone saying that, but knowing that he resurrected, knowing that it was God manifested in the flesh, the Son of God, and showing himself that he was God when he could rise from the dead, only God can rise from the dead. But we also see something else that was taken out, and that's Mark chapter 16:50. You can go there, Mark 16:50. Mark 16:50. And he said unto them, Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. This is the verse that they took out. This is part of the verse they challenged. This is a part of the verse where they said, early manuscripts and other ancient witnesses do not have these verses. Do not have the verses that say, go out, preach the gospel to every creature. Just a little subtle attack. So you think about it, you might, I believe that many people when they get saved, they're on fire. They have that kind of genuine zeal in them. I mean, they got that zeal. How many people wish they just had that zeal David had right now? For God. I wish I could have that kind of zeal for that David had in that story. But then, you go to church, and you get somebody who says, hey, you don't really need to go out and preach the gospel to every preacher. No, you need to do it. You need to do it. But just, come on. Come on, just slow down a little bit. Come on. Just, you're too extreme. Slow down. Think of the devil, he can't get you to salvation. Once we're saved, are we saved forever? When we put our faith and trust in Christ and die for our sins, are we saved forever? Can we know for sure we're going to heaven? Yeah. Absolutely. Now it's about tactics. How's the attack? Hey, serve God. Hey, serve God. Just don't be so extreme. Hey, just don't get excited about God. Hey, get excited during the service. Just don't say amen. Keep it to yourself. Maybe you want to say amen because you want to wake the preacher up. Try and get him to get excited about the sermon. But hey, don't show that excitement too much. Don't go out and work too hard. Hey, don't be so extreme. Don't be on fire for God. Hey, think about this. What we talked about last week. We get other attacks going on in the church. Someone will put someone in the church and say, hey, soul winning doesn't work. Door-to-door soul winning doesn't work. Because it just doesn't work. There are all those people who you go out and give the gospel to, they knock on the door and give the gospel, and they say they believe it, and they're saying that they're not really saved, they didn't need it. So the devil just tries to settle attacks, and he's in the churches to do that. The devil wants you lukewarm. The devil wants you to be lukewarm. It's fine. He doesn't care if you backslide. He doesn't need to say backslide. Hey, he wants that too. Hey, just be lukewarm. He doesn't want you to know what lukewarm is. Because if you know what lukewarm is, you might change a little bit, but the devil wants you lukewarm. The devil wants you lukewarm. devil wants you lukewarm. He goes after the Bibles. He's going after the Bibles. There are many people today in church, and they're in church and they're using an NIV Bible. They're using the wrong Bible. That came with a subtle attack. A subtle attack by the devil. And that's what's going on. Now, Matthew, turn in your Bibles to Revelation chapter 13, verse 4. Revelation 3, verse 14. Revelation 3, verse 14. And it says in Revelation 3:14, it says, and unto the angel of the church of Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of creation of God. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. And what he's saying here we have church Laodiceans. They were lukewarm. They were lukewarm. This was a church that he was writing to, and that church was lukewarm. And God says, hey, I would thou wert lukewarm. He says, he says that, thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. I would thou wert cold. I wish you were neither cold for me. I wish you were hot for me. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. He says, hey, I don't want you to be lukewarm for me. I want you to be all the way in or all the way out. And I think sometimes a better position to get it is if you're lukewarm is to get maybe a little cold here, based on what God's saying. Maybe you need to get cold before you get hot. I'm not saying that we should backslide or we should go in that wrong direction, but we don't want to be lukewarm. Revelation 3, verse 1, you don't have to go there. It says, and unto the angel of the church of Sardis write, these things saith he that hath the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know thy works, that thou art neither, that thou hast a name, that thou livest and art dead. You see, this church has a name, that thou livest and art dead. That church was dead. The church was dead. There was no life in it. In 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 10, you don't have to turn there. It says, for Demas hath forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed to Thessalonica, Crescens and Galatia, Titus to Dalmatia. So we could see here that even in Demas, he was somebody who loved this present world. He fell back. Not only did he get, I don't think he was lukewarm, I think he just got completely cold. Revelation 3, verse 17. It says, because thou sayest, I am rich, and increased with goods, and have needed nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked. Counsel of me to buy me gold, triumph and fire, that makest me rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eyesalve, that thou mayest see. As many as thy love are, you can chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. So I think that lukewarm is really, I think one of the best attacks that make people lukewarm are really the enemies of soul. I can attest in my life that there got to a point where I got a little away from the gospel of grace, and that took my fire away from me. It started to hurt my fire. Matthew 24 says, but there shall rise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And I believe that whole idea of saying that you have to be saved by works to be saved is what will make anybody not go so long. Those people who believe that salvation is by a backdoor work salvation, saying that you need to do a certain thing before Christ will save you. Those people will knock on doors. Those people will criticize the people who go and knock on doors and get people the gospel. And I went yesterday and a man named Nathan, a guy who went to a Roman Catholic church, a young teenager. He didn't know for sure he was going to heaven. He came to the door. We're in a shower. His towel around his towel around his body. He comes to the door, his towel around his body. Just got out of the shower. And I'm talking to him. He's still talking to me, right? And I asked him, "Are you for sure he's going to heaven?" I asked him, "Are you for sure you're going to heaven?" He's like, "No, I don't know." And I'm like, I gave him a couple verses. Can I show you? He's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Okay, well, how about we just go inside and get something on, and then we come right back." And he comes back. He thinks he's got his coat on. He comes basically. And Isaiah showed him that salvation comes by grace through faith. He believed he was a sinner. He understood he needed to go to hell. He understood he deserved hell because of his sin. And he believed that Jesus died on the cross for his sin. He believed that was by grace through faith. That all he had to do was put his faith and trust in that. And once he did that, then he would be saved and saved forever. And I got to give him the gospel. And you know what? That's one of the greatest things that we can do as a church. It's the moment that God did the greatest moment of my week. It's that moment that I got to give somebody the gospel and have them understand it. And then with the rest of our day, we went knocking on doors, and no one really wanted to talk to us. It's like your experience. Most people didn't want to talk to us. They didn't want to hear us. I never got that far. But I got to give him the gospel, and I got to get him saved. And see, it's the greatest thing in the world. And when you say that that is not a salvation, when you say that that person didn't get saved, and you say, oh, I need to see him come to church 60 times straight, and then I need to see him do all these things right in his life before I really believe he got saved. I mean, that's ridiculous. That is what take the fire out of the Christian. Because the gospel is so simple that anybody who believes on the Lord Jesus Christ can be saved. And that is what gives us the fire, is knowing that if we can tell one person who doesn't know that, hey, they will save them from hell. They will have Christ in their spirit and their life. It can change their whole life around. And if it doesn't completely change the whole life around, it will save them from hell. And you will see that person and have them know that you got to give him the gospel. So when the devil has a claim that, hey, I'm not many people lukewarm, a lot of times it comes with a false gospel. A lot of times it comes with a gospel that's not clear. Just put that in a little bit. Hey guys, you give the gospel, but just slow and you just change it a little bit. Hey, don't do too much. Your little how many people went to a church after they got saved and they want to go soul winning? Maybe approached people in the church to talk about it and felt like, whoa, they were like, what's wrong with you? How many people? Oh, Mark. I don't want to say, okay, actually, yeah. Completely. What? You want to knock on doors? You want to get people to us? Yeah, because I got some fire. I want to be like you. I want to have some fire. The devil wants us lukewarm. He wants our church to be lukewarm. He wants us to be like just lackadaisical. Hey, that's what he wants. He doesn't want us to get excited for the Word of God. Now, we're reading about it. Because this is the spiritual battle. That idea, the devil wants you to slow down. The devil does not want you to serve God. Because when you start serving God, you start doing damage. And the devil doesn't want that. The devil then has damage control. He's going to go after you if you want to serve God. He's going to go after you. And you're going to fall sometimes. And you're going to fall sometimes and you don't fall. And you just got to confess it and ask God. You've got to ask God to give us that fire that Jacob had. And I pray it starts to, I want to have that fire that Jacob has. Even if you have a small church and like 5-6 people on fire, that's great. That is what will really do it. And we get these people going out to this thing and make sure everybody gets a chance to hear the gospel. Hey, that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it might take years, but this church will build by that. This church will build by that. We don't go out to knock on doors to bring people to church. Like I said, we go knock on doors to get some of the gospel and to get them saved. And if you do that, week in, week out, people get saved because it's not you, it's God that does it. It's God that does it. Now, when you look at this spiritual battle, turn to Ephesians chapter 6. This is a great verse. I know Sister Heidi was talking to you about these verses over the phone about how great these are. I think you read them, right? Ephesians chapter 6. And this is probably the most powerful, in my opinion, the most powerful verses on the spiritual battle that you can get from the Bible. If you can memorize these 11 verses or so as well, I think that memorizing these verses are probably some of the greatest verses we ever memorize. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 says, "You'll find, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now, if you keep your bookmark in Ephesians 6, and go to Isaiah 59:17. And it says in Isaiah 59:17, "For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and a helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as cloak." So much weakness. When we think about what he's saying here, he put on the righteousness as a breastplate. Now, I know what you, but I don't want to put my own righteousness on there. I mean, how many people, before you went soloing, you got in a fight with somebody? Have anyone ever had a fight with your wife before you went soloing, or your husband? I don't want to put my hand up. Okay, I'll put my hand up. You ever get in a fight with somebody? You ever feel like you're not prayed up enough?
Yeah.
You ever feel like you're not prayed up enough to go?
Yeah.
Feel like you're not walking in the Spirit good enough to go? I felt it yesterday. I felt it really yesterday. Whose righteousness are you putting on? You got to put on Jesus' righteousness. We're not putting in our own righteousness. We're not saved by our own righteousness. And even God says in Hebrews, by which we were sanctified by the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once for all. Even our sanctification is nothing without the blood of Jesus. It's Jesus. Not only Jesus for salvation, but Jesus for sanctification. Because what I do in this flesh is nothing that we want to put on. For he says, "For he put on righteousness as a breastplate." We're putting on Jesus' righteousness as a breastplate. As somebody who's saved and wanting to go out and serve him, go, "God, choose me. I'm not good enough, but I'm going to go out and serve you anyway. And I'm going to go on, not my righteousness. I'm going to start my righteousness. Go out and go on your righteousness." And you tell people at the door that, "Hey, I'm not righteous. My only righteousness is Jesus' righteousness." And you're not a hypocrite. Because you're not saying you're a great person. You're saying you're not a great person. And they can speak to that. Hey, buddy, I'm talking to you at the door. I know you got a problem with alcohol. I know you have a problem with drugs. Say, "I'm not righteous either. I have Jesus' righteousness." And that's what you need. You need Jesus' righteousness. Because we are in this flesh and we need Christ to help us. We need the Spirit. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate and a helmet of salvation upon his head. That helmet of salvation that we put on our head is the eternal security of knowing that no matter what we do, no matter how much we fall, they can take our lives, but if they take our lives, we'll be in heaven. Because we got that helmet of salvation. And when we're saved, we're saved. And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and he was clad with zeal as a cloak. And that the vengeance that we're having is the vengeance that we're going against the devil. And the fact that he wants us to be lukewarm, the fact that he does not want us to serve God, that vengeance we want to have is against him, but fighting through using the Spirit of God to fight him, because we can never fight him in our own spirit. And he was clad with zeal as a cloak. This man really has zeal. I'm not saying you have to scream real loud, but just have some zeal. Brother Mike, when you're reading the Bible verses this morning, hey, you have your zeal. You're putting your zeal into that. Over you were reading Romans, it was a great reading. You're putting your enthusiasm into that. Ephesians 6:12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So we're not wrestling against Mike. We're not fighting. We're not fighting. If me and Mike ever do fight, we're not fighting each other. It's the principle where we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and that those principalities and powers use people to fight each other. Use people, Christians. The devil is out to hate Christian churches, just destroying churches, because he gets Christians who are not strong enough, or not walking in faith enough, who have been subjugated to false doctrine, and he would get them and use them to fight amongst each other and ruin and hurt the weak God. But we're not struggling against people, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. It says in Ephesians 6:13, it says, 6:13, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness." We got to take the whole armor of God. When it's saying we're taken to the whole armor of God to be able to withstand the evil day and having done all the stand. We got to really be seeking our God. If we want to be on fire for God, if we want to be like Jacob, we got to be seeking Him out by reading His Word. We got to be seeking Him out by taking time to pray every day. Take a time out to pray every day. A certain time that we have a Bible reading time. Take the time out to pray. Take a time out to read His Word. Take the time out to be in church. If we draw nigh to God, He will draw nigh to us. And there's one thing that when I was always first seeing God, one of the first things I started to do is just take some time to pray. I thought, I'm going to have to pray. We're all going to have to pray. So I can take some time to pray and read a bit of the Bible. That just builds up and it builds up. We got to take the whole armor of God. Anything that God can give us to strengthen us, we got to take. Ephesians 6:15 it says, "Your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, take the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench by the falling fire of the wicked. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God." And that shield, when you say here that we got to take the shield of faith, it's our faith that will allow us to step out and do things that we never imagined. And you might not have perfect faith. We all don't have perfect faith, but just to take a step out, even if you're not comfortable, and say, I believe, Lord, help thou my unbelief, and just take that shield of faith. With that shield of faith, you can quench the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Now, you think about a sword. The devil wants us lukewarm. But we do have this thing, this sword. This is powerful. This is the Word of God. God's spoken Word. God breathed every word in this. And this is a sword that we can use. When you go out and maybe scared to give the gospel to people, you're not going unequipped. You're going with the sword in your hand. You're going with the sword. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Why is Jesus called the Word? Because He's the Word of God. Because this is the Word of God. That's why He's called the Word. This is God's Word right here. Jesus Christ, God's Word. And this is what we have when we go out. We have a sword. We have a helmet of salvation. And we have the breastplate of Jesus' righteousness. And our faith can do anything. But we need to know these things. When you want to be on fire for God, if there's something you want to do, to be on fire for God, you got to do. Get that person the gospel, and maybe you're a little too scared to go to get that to. And step out in faith and know that the devil wants you to lukewarm. But we're gonna wrestle against that, and we're gonna do it in the Spirit, in God's Spirit. And He will help us. Let's pray. Dear Lord God, thank you so much, God, for this time. And